How the heck are you folks? My name's Fastidious. Welcome to my channel and welcome to day 63 on our grind for glory. Stick with me because we are going to do something very fun today. So for about a week and a half, I've been working behind the scenes on what I think is a truly unique AoE DPS arena team. We are going to run a single DPS unit in this AoE DPS stage. So what's the team? Let's get right into it and I'm going to show you. And I think let's just take on Painkiller, a fellow German resident like myself, a pretty gnarly team. He's got the Virna Silas combo. He's bringing an A1 Khamet, an A1 Iona. He's bringing Mari for a little utility. What are we bringing? We're bringing Khamet, A0, and then 4 pieces of support. I could totally lose this right now, I'll be honest, but I do think we are gonna win. You see, we only have 215 KBP. They had about 256, I think. So we're gonna bring Khamet. This whole team revolves around Khamet. So unfortunately, this might just be a fun watch for you if you don't have Khamet. But if you do, this is a really cool way to win battles maybe you weren't gonna win. So essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna build this whole team around getting Khamet as fast and as strong as he possibly can be and getting his ult up as quickly as possible. So what is everyone's roles? I'll quickly tell you. We've got the inspiration from Dolores. We've got the crit and the crit damage from Autumn, our rare champion. Laurel is your dropper. You pick her back up to help him get his second ult off if the fight even makes it that far. This fight, it totally might. Volka is there literally just for her A1 Volka ability of 25% reductions in allies' revival time. Right? So it's going to help us get Laurel out a second time if the fight does go on that long. And then Khamet, I'll just show you his gear right now and then we'll break everyone's gear down after this battle. He's just in my best gear. You guys are probably familiar with this gear. A curse set is really nice for this battle because he'll basically most of the time have 4 or 5 guys in his range. That's 24% or 30% increased damage. And then yeah, these are like my 2 best ancient pieces. I only have like 5 ancient pieces on my whole account. And you can see high attack speed, that's vital for Khamet. Solid crit rate, this is gonna be 100% with Laurel. Very good crit damage. And for him, quite good attack. Especially considering we went crit damage main over here, but you can see we got some monster rolls on that piece. So does your Khamet need to be this good to work? No, but then you'll not be able to beat as good teams. Could your Khamet be better? Absolutely. And then you'll beat better teams than I'm able to beat currently. So of course it's all variable. However, with this strategy you're about to see right now, I think it's pretty cool. So let's hop into the fight and I'll explain all the deployments. I'll keep it on 1x, I think, for the beginning, or at least we'll get Khamet down because that's the first thing you do, I'll tell you right now. Khamet costs 19 cost, right? So we need to keep it on 2x, get Khamet down as soon as possible, and we're gonna put him right on this square. So he's probably gonna do the same thing with his Khamet, so we gotta make sure our Khamet's the first one down if we can help it. He went Virna, honestly not the right choice, but that's because it probably works for the way he does offense, but a big advantage we have, guys, I'll just pause it for 1 second. Ooh, let me get down we'll do Dolores first. Let me get down Dolores and then I'll explain it. When you're on offense, you can control all the timings and everything, but when you're on defense, you don't know the BP of the team you're facing, so you don't know how healthy, like how many hit points the enemies are going to have, defense, things like that, because if you didn't know, guys, that all is gauged upon the average BP between your team and the enemy team, so that varies. So the rounds end at different points, so the ults time differently, so things that work on offense don't always work on defense. What's cool here is this tends to work pretty well on defense. I've been getting a lot of defense wins as well. Okay, let's get back into the fight. So Khamet goes on this square, Dolores goes here. Why not put them right next to each other? We want to leave this square open for later when we're going to drop Laurel down and then pick her up, and so we can increase both of their rages, right? So we wait. My Khamet gets the first win. Look at that. A big first round win there against a nasty Virna, right? The second we can, we're going to drop Autumn. You can see there's an Orb of Euphoria. You could also use her very effectively with Spirit Horn, so she gets extra rage at the start. I prefer Orb of Euphoria, so now she's like directly buffing Khamet, right? Because he's going to have an extra 30 attack speed, and that could be the difference. And that's at 0 levels of promotion, right? So we wait. We can go on 2x really quick. Trigger Khamet right away and trigger Autumn. We're gonna sit on Dolores. Easy instant win. Khamet plus full crit plus 360 or so crit damage. Boom, deceased, right? We can immediately get, well, actually, hold on 1 second. Let me get ready. Charge up a bit. You guys might have caught the mistake I was about to make. I was gonna put down Laurel, but we can't do that until right now when we trigger Dolores. Now put down Laurel. And just a fun fact, it took me a while to 100% figure this out, but even though Dolores is still using her ult currently, you can see that orange bar ticking down. She's still regaining rage at the same time, especially if you do something like this with Laurel. So you'll see when this comes off, she'll have plenty of rage. regardless of if she gets that extra 33% from her passive. So we go here, and they're dead before the round even ends. So there you go. It looked like a pretty nasty, gnarly team, way more BP. They had an A1 Khamet, they had Virna, they had Iona, they had Silas for the Virna bond. I'll show you the stats right now. It's pretty crazy stuff, guys. Look at that. Not a single drop of damage from anyone else. Khamet with 5.6 million damage, and then just tickles from their team. Khamet more than quintupled Virna, and nearly quintupled their entire team. And it's basically that easy. This team, it didn't work out so well for them. If they had placed their Khamet first, it'd be a bit different. Let's go over gear. Let's go over specifically Khamet skills, and then we'll go and do a few more fights, because I think it's really fun. It's a really cool way to win. I haven't lost once since I picked up this team. I will say, keep an eye out. I will challenge teams. I get a sense of your team's ability, right? So this is just a separate tangential tip, right? I'm not going to take on a team if they have Khamet and they are like 330,000 BP, right? But if they're like 300,000 or below, I'm pretty sure I can beat them just because I felt it out and I've practiced it. And then you just set yourself up for constant success. You just keep winning. So let's go to Khamet. It really does come down to his talent. Obliteration Strike deals 400% extra high damage to enemies who have not been attacked. He is our only unit putting out attacks. I used to run a comp with like Mari later on. I'd put Abomination down sometimes, and he wouldn't always get the first attack. We'd still win a lot because Khamet's cracked. But if you do it this way, and just make it, he's always getting 400% extra high damage on the first hit. We're always like boosting his attack or boosting his crit or boosting his crit damage, things like this. He's nasty. Really nice basic attack here. My Khamet is fully skilled up. Every 5 attacks is gonna apply curse. We don't even make it that far. We never hit someone. Usually they're all gone. Maybe 1 or 2 people will get curse, but when the curse happens and he hits them, then we're gonna get another obliteration strike. Upon killing a target, the hero's attack will bounce off 2 enemies. This is a great way where you're able to see those like boom, boom, boom eliminations with those skulls that pop up. And then finally his ult, each attack deals 400% AoE damage lasting for 20 seconds. So that's why whenever we do time it out, like him and Autumn, and we do trigger this, it's just delete button. We almost always win that round, right? Basically, we do always win that round. We probably have his best in slot here for Tear of Starlight. When his HP is above 80%, attack is increased by 20%. So just think of this as a mythic, mage exclusive, very juiced up ancestral teachings. Even a plus 22 or plus 25 ancestral teachings, or plus 19, I guess is when it kicks in. It's only going to be 16%, right? So this is just fantastic. And this is post deployment. So we're getting straight up another 1/5 on top of what this big number is here, plus Pantheon, which isn't calculated. So it's probably about 16,000. So you're looking at another, I guess that would be, oh my God, I can't do math, 3,200, right? That'd be another 3,200 attack. So we're coming up on 20,000 attack with that Tears of the Starlight, which for this level of Overlord certainly is over the threshold. Maybe when you get super, super high, I don't know if people have like 400,000 BP. I haven't been that high yet, but up to like the 350s, that is enough to be eliminating your enemies. Finally, he is obviously a 0. I'm blessed to have the 1 copy. I'm not going to want more. I'll show you the gear on everyone else, like I said. We'll just go down the list. When it comes to Volca, I'm not even probably going to deploy her for a single one of these fights just to demonstrate the potency of Khamet. She could be the difference by just getting out an extra 100,000 damage in longer battles when you're more evenly matched. However, you can just see we went Glacier set just because of random pieces. I'm running a crit rate main, but that's just because it has really nice subs. This is like one of the 3. This is the 3rd now that you've seen of the 5 ancient mythic pieces on my account. And then we just went attack speed, and then we hunted for, you know, attack bonus, attack speed, stuff like that. But like I said, she's not going to touch the field here. It really is just about this Awaken 1 allies revival time minus 25%. Even Volca only ever being used for that is still a monster. Right before I did this, guys, I leveled up a new piece. Let's let this buff for a second. And I finally got my Dolores' attack over 11,000 pre-Pantheon. So that was a nice little accomplishment. How did I do it? Let me show you. I actually put on this piece, which only has 17% attack bonus. I took off a piece that had 24%. Do not sleep on flat attack rolls, guys. So I was like, oh, let's roll this to 12 before I film. We got 417 flat attack, and her attack went up 200, right? Because she's got a pretty low base attack, so it's, you know, 10% of this 2662 on my A5 Dolores, I would only be 266, right? This is 417. That's obviously a big difference, and we actually only went down 7%, so you can do the math there. So there's our Dolores. She's really, really there just for the inspiration. I place her first instead of Autumn because I'm that confident we're going to win the first round, and I want to just completely control when I use her ult. Otherwise, I'd be placing Autumn first so I could get the benefit of the Orb of Euphoria, getting the extra attack speed on Khamet. I'll show you here. She's in the Maw Bucket of all Maw Bucket artifacts, this brilliant discovery by the main man, Ancestral Teachings, plus 16% attack post-deployment. Where are we? Laurel. She's literally just wearing a rapidity set. I haven't leveled this stuff at all. No stats. She is there to be as low cost as possible, which is 12 with the rapidity set. And you pick her up and you're getting the full benefit of her talent. Keep in mind, guys, if you're going to use Laurel, make sure she's at least 5 stars and full 5 stars of promotion. Otherwise, you will not receive this talent. You can skip the first line. Additionally, upon death, provide surrounding enemies with a restoration of 50% of their rage cap upon death. I'm gonna flag it here, guys. This is the most likely thing in the game to get nerfed right now. After Lightlock, it's this. This is cracked out. I expect it to change, that she actually has to die, and you can't just revoke her from the battlefield, but let's enjoy it while we've got it, folks. And just so you know, this is not everyone within her attack range. I'll show you her attack range right now. Oh my God, where is it? Here you go. It's actually everyone just directly adjacent to her. So in the 8 tiles around her central tile, inside that 3x3 tile box. Finally, we have got a cool thing going on here with Autumn. I've got Autumn in an invigoration set. I just did that as well before the fight. You do not need to do this at all. The battle you just saw is the first time I've ever used her in an invigoration set. But if maybe you were just farming the Gear Raid 2 tournament we had, the Oracle's Trial, it's pretty cool. So Autumn flat attack is going to be better than attack bonus because she has such a low attack pool, especially if you're like me and you run her at only 5 stars. It doesn't really matter here, guys, attack speed and stuff, because she's never doing basic attacks and because no one's taking damage in this fight. But it's just a nice Autumn build in general. You can see everything's really under-leveled, but it's really about the invigoration set. Healing effect plus 25, pretty cool. But it's really when deployed, the hero and one ally in range gain 10% attack. What more is there to say? Khamet, this always targets a DPS if there's multiple options, and Khamet's the only DPS, so Khamet's getting another 10% attack. And again, this is post-deployment, so this is going to come out to like 1,600 or so, right? Including his Pantheon, like 1,600 extra attack. So now he's over 20,000 by the time we put out Autumn. Like I said, I have her in Orb of Euphoria at base level. It's gonna, for all people in range, we are going to get an extra 30 attack speed. That's pretty cool. Lasts for 10 seconds every 60 seconds. It's fine. We get a nice little boost at the beginning. The other great option, which even in certain situations probably is even better, is going for the Spirit Horn, an extra initial rage by 30% when deployed. You know what, just to make this slightly more free-to-play friendly, and because in a lot of situations this could be better, let's throw this one on so we're using less mythic artifacts. So here you go, guys. Let's get back into it and let's do some fights. Should we take on this nasty looking team right here? They've got a Greed, they've got an A1 Iona, Zealous, not the best for any arena, guys. 25 cost is crazy. I mean, when it was 29, that was nuts, but 25 cost is still too high. But they've got Aeon, so they've got just a proper cultist team, but I think we're gonna make quick work even at 284,000 BP. So let's hop right into the fight. And let's take them down. We're facing a Frenchman, Raziel. What you got, Raziel? You gonna take down our Khamet? I don't think so. We got a nasty Khamet and his gang of ladies to support him. 18, 19, let's grab him. First Khamet down. See there, that little second could be the difference. It really helps me. Our Khamet is much stronger as well. Not even much stronger, it's pretty close. But you can see there, 143k, 163k. That's the difference, right? We have the lead now. Let's get I should have placed her sooner, but it doesn't matter. We can go like this as well. I don't need to place Autumn here, but if ever there was a reason I wanted to drop Laurel in between them instead of in between Autumn and Khamet instead of Dolores and Khamet, I just want to give myself the option. But you could just put her right next to it, as long as you don't put her here. Leave that spot open for Laurel. We can just quick trigger already, and let's get ready. The second we trigger this, basically this will be over. Like I said, so this guy's doing really well. He's got a really strong Khamet. We only beat him. Oh no, those guys were still alive. So there you can see, we're off to a huge lead, over halfway done. Don't drop your Laurel. That's an important tip until you've triggered Dolores if you're gonna run the same comp as me. Volka's ready, but she doesn't need to hit the floor. I can already trigger Dolores. Doesn't matter, because her ult will last longer than it will take us to kill these people, or in case they win, they kill them. But for sure, we'll be able to do it in time. So you just let it happen. Let's see, it's gonna be very close. We do lose some of the rounds, you know? That's why we want to get a nice big early lead, and this is where Volka comes in. So it's really close now. Maybe I'm going to finally take an L. Like I said, this is a tough team, But Khamet's already full, and I think we're gonna get it. So now we can do a big trigger with everyone, trigger, and then this is how it can usually end in the end. We explode everything, and now look at that. We won by about 12 or 14 enemies, and just when you thought maybe my strategy wasn't gonna work, kaboom. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. So not as easy as the first fight, but if that's not a great demonstration of what this composition is capable of, I don't know what is. I think a lot of people might be thinking the way I was thinking, where it's like, I have Morgan, you know? I have Lucere now if I want to use that for some crowd control. I have Mari. Let me get like a whole DPS AoE team going, because this is AoE DPS arena. If you have the one great AoE DPS, I think Khamet's probably as good as it gets for this arena stage. Just use that and prop them up. Use a little bit of Laurel, use a little bit of cheese, you know, put some mozzarella on that pizza. Why not? 15.2 million damage. That we almost tripled their Khamet, right? 2.5 times as much as their Khamet. That's all you need to know. Throw your absolute best gear on Khamet. Volca never needs to touch the field, and then just time everything out with your placements and your ults. It's actually really easy. Something else I'm gonna throw out, the reason I actually stumbled into this composition, because could I maybe get something better going, you know, with my Morgan? I mean, I'm very lucky to have Morgan, right? I could, and that's what I was doing for a very long time. However, if you guys know me, even though I'm like no longer free to play in that I receive all these free diamonds, I still am a dirty free to play in my heart of hearts. I am a no spender, right? So I build everything around, I don't have that much good gear, so I'm moving it around constantly. That was a very long-winded way of getting to what I'm about to say. My gear's always moving around, so it's very confusing. Oh my God, it's AoE DPS day. I gotta make sure I put this on Morgan and this on Mari and this on Khamet. With this gear's always staying on Autumn, always staying on Laurel. I mean, Laurel's barely wearing gear, and always staying on Dolores. Dolores' gear doesn't change. So the only gear I'm ever changing is that best DPS that you saw on Khamet. And Volca doesn't matter, she doesn't touch the field. So for me, it makes my life a lot more organized. Instead of having to move around 2 or 3 or 4 sets, I'm only moving around 1. So yeah, if you have that really min-maxy style like me, it pays off there. Let's do 1 or 2 more, why not? We take down this whole thing. This is a groovy team here. A1 Virna, A1 Hatsit. Hatsit's very hard. Should we face a potential loss? This is a very hard team. Rozok's gonna be hard for them to use at 22 cost, but Hatsit at A1 is very, very, very scary. Virna at A1 is almost a cheat code. Plus they have Venoma, so they're gonna get instant rage whenever they place people. If you guys don't know Venoma's Lord skill, reduces factionalized costs by 25%. That's fine. However, she's got a very unique thing for a Lord. The last line is usually an extra thing to help her faction. This is not faction allies. This is all allies will gain 30% extra rage upon first deployment. So their Virna is going to start with another 30% rage. Their Hatsit will instant ult, stuff like that. So it's going to be pretty tricky. I'm going to do it. Don't be afraid, guys. We'll take on this other Frenchman, Pomme, but don't be afraid to take on harder teams and really test the limits of your, especially if there's not an arena event live. Like, a loss doesn't really matter. At least that's how I see it. I'm very solidly an Overlord, as you can see. I think we got here at 1850, so there's no chance we're falling out. So let's take this. I don't mind losing on camera. Let's see. And who knows, maybe we'll surprise ourselves. We are at 213K. They are at 318, so they are going to beat us by over 100,000 in the BP department. Will they actually beat us in the battle? Let's find out. I'm going to focus to make sure my placements are perfect in terms of, like, rapid. Our Khamet will get out first because I'm very much expecting them to get Virna out first, but their Virna will probably instant ult. If we time it out right, they might waste their ult slightly, even if we do lose this first round. So that's kind of what I'm banking on. They should drop Virna. They do. Looks like she's probably going to insta ult. Let's get Dolore down. One more. You see that, guys? Look at that. That's like 3%. We'll take it, though. That's only going to knock, what, about 10% off? Not even 5% or so. So we're only down, we're actually winning because we killed everyone else faster. Isn't that interesting, guys? We're actually ahead right now, even though we took the red orb of damage and they didn't. Let's trigger Autumn already. Let's get ready to come. I'm just gonna start hammering this so it triggers as fast as possible. We're gonna blow him up here for sure. One more hit, come on. Took a little long, so they might have gotten a few more kills than we would have liked them to get, but that is what, about 8 or 9 orbs of damage. Now we're off to a nice lead. So once they start rounding the corner, you can already trigger Dolores. We don't need that much time. I'm also kind of expecting to lose this round anyway, if I'm being 100% honest, because things are not going to line up too well for us. They've gotten a lot of units down. So let us see. We're not going to place Virna. We're not going to place Volca, I mean. So look, we only lost by 1. We'll absolutely take that. Look how much damage they took directly to the portal. That is huge. So when you get this big of a lead, when you run it quickly, I think we're gonna get a W right now. You can see Khamet's already ready. Autumn's already ready. My dog is getting excited, barking in the background. What do we got? What do we got? Blow it up. Blow it up. Trigger Dolores too. That should be it. That should be it. That's it. So not only were they going to die just because they were going to destroy the portal, that's about 15, 16 little mobs. I think we got to end on that fight right there. I think we also got our little thumbnail for the video in the stat sheet. Look at that. Almost 100K more. To be fair, we are manipulating our BP a bit, right, by bringing these under-geared, lower-level support units. But I mean, look at that. Let me grab a cute little screenshot. How beautiful is that? So yeah, I'm always looking to come up with these clever strategies, and sometimes they're not that novel. I think this is pretty novel. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're gonna try it. It works like an absolute charm. I'm telling you, my winning streak continues since I adopted this strategy, I don't know, 20 battles ago or something. So pretty cool. Let's actually see what my total results are on offense. So we're at 83% or so. This did take a lot of tinkering, but you can see we've been doing pretty good. We're taking L's on defense, but a lot of that does come to the timing. Defense, this game, it doesn't work well. The same with like a game like Raid Shadow Legends. It's really hard, the AI controlled defense compared to when you're actually doing it. And this game was a whole nother level with the timing of the ults and things like that. Guys, I thought this was a fun one. Let me know what you think. If you want to like the video, like it. All right, I gotta sign off. My dog's barking. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.
Fastidious.